Imagine this. You have something important to do. You actually care about it. You even want to finish it. But somehow, you don't. You delay. You scroll. You clean your desk. You do everything except the thing that matters. And later you ask yourself, why do I procrastinate on tasks I genuinely care about? Before we go deeper, if you want more science-based psychology videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to Mindcast EDU and hit the like button. It helps more than you think. So here's the truth most people don't realize. Procrastination is not a time problem. It's not a discipline problem. It's not even a laziness problem. It's an emotional problem. When your brain feels friction, stress, fear, overwhelm, perfectionism, uncertainty, or pressure, it avoids the task not because you don't care about it, but because doing it triggers uncomfortable emotions. Your brain is wired to protect you from discomfort faster than it is to pursue long-term rewards. That means even meaningful tasks like studying, applying for a job, starting a personal project, working on your goals, can feel threatening if they carry emotional weight. Maybe you're afraid of failing. Maybe you're afraid of not being good enough. Maybe you're afraid of being judged. Or maybe the task is so important that your brain freezes because it doesn't want to mess it up. This is called emotional procrastination, and almost everyone experiences it. And then there's something called task friction, which is basically how hard it feels to get started. Sometimes your brain doesn't avoid the whole task, it avoids the feeling of starting. Think about it: opening the laptop, writing the first sentence, submitting the first form. Those tiny steps feel like pushing a heavy rock uphill. Even if the task itself isn't difficult, the activation energy to begin is high. That friction creates hesitation. That hesitation becomes delay. That delay becomes procrastination. Here's something surprising. Your brain can't tell the difference between a dangerous threat and an uncomfortable task. It reacts the same way, by trying to escape. An escape today usually looks like checking your phone, watching videos, browsing social media, doing something quick that makes you feel productive but isn't the thing you actually need to do. Here's the good news. You can break this cycle without forcing discipline or willpower. You don't need to push harder, you just need to work with your brain instead of fighting it. The first strategy is to lower emotional friction. Instead of telling yourself, I have to do this perfectly, try saying, I'm allowed to do this badly on the first try. This immediately removes pressure from your brain. Perfection is heavy, permission is light. When the emotional weight drops, the resistance drops, and tasks suddenly feel doable. The second strategy is what psychologists call the minimum viable action. Instead of focusing on the whole task, you decide to do the easiest, smallest possible step. Not the task, just the entry point. If you need to write a report, the goal is not write the report. The goal is open a blank document. If you need to go to the gym, the goal is just put on my shoes. If you need to study, the goal is just open the book. When you reduce the entry friction to almost zero, your brain no longer feels threatened. And here's the magical part. Once you start, your brain naturally wants to keep going. Another reason we procrastinate even on meaningful tasks is because we mentally bite off more than we can chew. Your brain shuts down when it sees intensity, but lights up when it sees small progress. So break the task into ridiculously small pieces, not chapters, paragraphs, not hours, 5 minutes. Make the task so easy that the emotional cost is almost zero. There's also something called future self-disconnect. You set a goal, but your brain doesn't emotionally connect with the future version of you who benefits from completing the task. So everything that feels good now wins. To fix this, bring your future self closer. Imagine what tomorrow you will feel like if you finish this task today. Your brain is much more motivated by immediate emotional rewards than distant logical rewards. One of the most powerful techniques is to make the task feel safe. Procrastination often comes from fear of not doing well, fear of feeling stupid, fear of failing, fear of being judged. So create a safe environment. Tell yourself, this is just practice. I'm experimenting. This doesn't have to define me. When you remove the emotional danger from the task, the avoidance fades. And remember, motivation doesn't come before action. Action creates momentum. Momentum creates motivation. So the feeling you're waiting for will not show up until after you begin. If you've been struggling with procrastination, even on things you care deeply about, there's nothing wrong with you. Your brain isn't broken, it's protecting you. You just need to guide it gently instead of forcing it harshly. So the next time you feel yourself avoiding something important, pause and ask, what emotion am I trying to avoid right now? Not, why am I lazy? Not, why can't I do this? Just, what emotion is making this task feel scary? That one question can break the entire cycle. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe to Mindcast EDU for more psychology-based insights that help you understand your mind and master it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.